All right. Hi, everyone, and welcome to this Take Action info session. My name's Heidi. I will be walking us through this information, and at the end of this information session, we will have a bit of a moment for where you can ask questions. Just a reminder that this information session is being recorded, and that will include the question and answer portion. So if you would like to use that moment to come off mute and ask a question, just know that you will be recorded and included in the published video at the end of this process. Yes, please introduce yourselves in the chat. Let us know who you are, where you are tuning in from. And I think we've already included some of our primary disciplines up in our name, but you can add that too or elaborate. Most of us are like multidisciplinary artists that just one word doesn't really fit into it. So introduce yourselves in the chat. Let us know who you are. And then also, just before we get going, if anybody would like to see closed captioning that is like automatically generated through Zoom, there is an option to turn that on for yourself. It's going to be down at the bottom panel of buttons where there's three dots that say more. And then that, for me, it's the second option that says show captions. So turn those on if you would like them. And let's begin.
And just reiterating what Amber just said, I am here monitoring the chat. So if you want to put some questions in there, I will make sure that we get to them after Heidi chats about take action.
Fabulous. Let's go to the next slide. Cool. So here's our agenda for the information session. We're going to talk a little bit about cash, just to let you all know who we are and what we do, which includes this Take Action grant, but also includes a great many other uh, exciting things. So just to let you know who we are, and then we'll talk about the Take Action grant, look a little bit at like the large picture snapshot of what it is, and then we'll get into what Take Action means for individual artists, followed by what Take Action means for nonprofits and fiscally sponsored organizations. Then I have a list of frequently asked questions. So maybe some questions that come up for you will already be included in that list. And then we'll take a pause where y'all can chime in. We'll get a look at the chat, see what questions are coming up for us. And then finally, I'll give you our contact information so that we can stay in touch about Take Action. And I just want to get a note. I feel like I'm speaking at kind of a low volume. Can everybody hear me okay? Can I just get thumbs up in the fabulous? Okay. So, Cash. Cash is an intermediary art organization that helps creatives and arts organizations become stronger and more influential within their communities. What are some examples of how we do this? We do professional development and networking opportunities. Uh, just before we started the recording, we were talking about a very successful table talk that happened earlier this week. If you'd like to attend the next table talk, that is coming up on July 2nd. Another thing we do is offer affordable spaces for rent where artists can come in if they've got, one night of an event that they've dreamt up that they want to put up on their feet. The medium has affordable options for renting space. We also do all kinds of funding opportunities, including the one we are here to talk about today, Take Action. If you are curious about other funding opportunities, you can check out our website where there is a whole list of grants and opportunities for individuals and organizations. Another thing we do is spotlight what's going on in our local arts community and what's going on in the culture of Northwest Arkansas. We know we're not the only ones out there doing this work, and that it takes an entire ecosystem to make an arts community happen. So we like to highlight that whenever possible. We do that on our socials, newsletter. We keep up with a creative calendar on our website and so much more. So that's a little bit of what we do. The Take Action team, this grant that we're here to talk about today, and who's behind that includes Kelsey Howard, our executive director. And myself, Heidi Lynn Alsdorf, I am a dance artist. I am a collaborative community person, and I also provide administrative support for Cash. So, what is Take Action all about? Take Action is a non-competitive funding opportunity designed to support the financial goals of artists and arts organizations in Benton and Washington counties. This initiative invests a total of $130,000, generously given by the Walton Family Foundation, in the business side of creative work, helping artists and organizations build stronger, more resilient practices. Funds are intended to be used to pay a consultant to complete a specific financial or business related project. Applications are already opened. They opened on June 2nd this year. This unique initiative is generously supported by the Walton Family Foundation, and we are so grateful for that. But why is this important to us? It's because of all you. It's because of all of the artists and organizations that are doing the fun and exciting part of creating and making work, as well as the behind the scenes, nitty gritty work of filing taxes and building websites and building ticketing infrastructure and budgeting for projects. We know that what you do is not always the fun and exciting part that you get to share with others, but there's a whole lot going on in the back end. So Take Action is meant to support those back end activities that support your long-term activity. Let's take a snapshot just to get like the basic points of Take Action. Applications have already opened. This grant is $1,000 for individuals and $5,000 for organizations. That's not a up to 1,000 or up to 5,000. It is, if you apply and are accepted, it's $1,000 or it's $5,000 individuals, organizations. These are awarded on a rolling basis as long as we still have funds to give. This opportunity is available only for individuals and organizations that are based in Benton or Washington County. In fact, when you go through the application process, the very first thing that you'll see is a page that asks you where your residence is or where you're based out of as an organization. And if it's not Benton or Washington County, then you are not eligible to go forward in the application. So just so you know. This application is non-competitive, so we are not on the back end comparing and contrasting applications. Basically, if you meet the eligibility and you have a strong application, then you're going to get the money if we have the money, right? So really no reason not to apply. And just to emphasize, this is a one-time opportunity. Many of our initiatives roll over from year to year. This particular initiative is just this year. So take advantage now. And then finally, this is both for individuals and for nonprofits. All right. Let's look at what Take Action does for individual artists. For an individual artist, you are applying for a $1,000 grant. Those $1,000 are meant to go toward hiring a consultant, and priority will be given to working artists with a minimum of 3 years experience. I'll get into why that is our reasoning in the question and answer portion. What can an individual artist do with this money? What might they hire a consultant to do? This is a short list. This is not a comprehensive list of what you might want to achieve through this grant, but just to get some of those wheels turning in case you're still trying to figure out what you want to do. Some examples of a Take Action grant might be toward developing a marketing or social media strategy. You might want to work with an accountant on taxes or financial planning. You might want to hire a lawyer to review your contracts or work with a business professional to help you develop pricing, branding, or business systems within your practice. For nonprofit organizations, um, these grants are $5,000. This is open to 501(c)(3) organizations or fiscally sponsored arts groups. And this is for arts-centered organizations. What are some things that a nonprofit organization can do with a Take Action grant? They can hire a consultant for financial planning or accounting support. They can get consulting help with fundraising strategy, or they can get help with just strategic consulting for organizational growth. Again, this is a short list, so the possibilities are quite large. But there are things that this Take Action grant does not support, and we just want to be really clear about that so that you have the strongest application possible. The Take Action grant does not support things like art supplies or equipment. It does not support production costs, travel, rent or utilities, living expenses, medical expenses, and it does not support programming or events. However, if these are things that you are interested in having funds for, we have plenty of other grants and opportunities that are available through Cash or highlighted on the Cash website. So please go and check those out if you're looking for these other types of funding. All right, so where do you find the application? How do you get there? Um, Maybe I can get Kelsey to actually share the link to the application in the chat so that you can have it right there for you. But maybe you're going to take some time
What
and
an
think about it.
idea.
Yeah. But maybe you take some time and think about it and you're going to have to find it some other moment. And here's how you do that. You're going to go to cashcreate.org, and up on the top bar of that website, you'll see a tab for resources. And inside that tab, you'll see the grants and opportunities page where you'll open it up. And the very first one listed on that page is Take Action. So you'll just follow the buttons to apply. And here is what that page looks like. So you'll see that this web page is open to cashcreate.org. Up at that top line where it says story, team, work, the medium, resources is the tab that you're looking for. You're going to go down to grants and opportunities. And then this is already open to the grants and opportunities page. And you'll see that I've circled Take Action down on the bottom left. This, oh, sorry, will you go back, Karen? I just want to highlight this little toggle button in case this is your first time looking at our website for grants and opportunities. The for creatives or for organizations, this is currently set at for creatives. If you click on the little toggle button, it'll go over to for organizations, and Take Action will be sitting in the same spot. All right, let's go forward. Another way you can find our application is through Instagram. I know a lot of people are on Instagram and socials these days, and maybe that feels a bit more accessible to you to find the application. So here's another way to find that. You're going to go to our Instagram page at Cash Create on Instagram. You'll click on the link in bio, and one of those links that pops up will be the Take Action, and then you'll just follow the apply buttons to get to the application. And this is what you'll see when you open the application. If you are clicking on the nonprofit organization, then in parentheses, that will just simply say nonprofit organizations, and you will be in the application that you need. Just so you know, we do our applications through Submittable. So when you open this, it will prompt you to create a free account on Submittable. Non-committing, it just makes sure that everything is organized and gets to us in an efficient way. So just know that you'll need to put in an email and a password there. All right. I'm going to take a breath because that was a lot of speaking. And we are entering into the frequently asked questions portion. I'll remind you that after I get through these, there will be time for you to be asking questions either with your mic off or through the chat. So just notice what's coming up for you as I go through these. All right. Who can apply for Take Action? Individual working artists and arts-focused nonprofit organizations located in Washington or Benton County are eligible to apply. So again, anyone outside of Washington or Benton County are not eligible for this grant. Do I need to be a full-time artist to apply? No. Applicants do not need to earn 100% of their income from their creative practice, but they should be able to demonstrate an active and sustained commitment to working as an artist. We can talk a little bit about what the application looks like, what questions are on the application, and how you would demonstrate that through the application. But I'll move on for now. Can I apply if I've never received a grant before? Absolutely. This would be a great first grant to get. What can funds be used for? Funds must be used to hire a consultant or an expert who can help you strengthen your business or organization. So again, we're just providing some examples. We trust that, especially those of you who have been in this game for a while, you're going to know what your needs are better than we can imagine. So don't feel like this is a limiting scope. These are just ideas, examples. So examples include marketing, branding, or social media strategy, financial planning or accounting support, tax preparation, contract or legal review, pricing and sales strategy, fundraising strategy, board governance consulting, operational systems development, copyright, and licensing consultations. Some of this stuff I wish that I had thought of years ago. Do I need to already know which consultant I want to hire? Yes. In your application, you will be asked to name the consultant you intend to work with, and we trust that the applicant, you, will identify the consultant that fits their needs. What types of artists are eligible? Artists across all disciplines are encouraged to apply, including, but absolutely not limited to, visual artists, musicians, performers, writers, dancers, filmmakers, designers, craftspeople, people who work in fashion, and interdisciplinary artists. I feel like every time I read a list, I need to clarify that we can't contain all of our thoughts in a list. So the the real answer is bigger. What types of organizations and artists are eligible? Eligible applicants include arts-focused 501c3 nonprofits, fiscally sponsored arts organizations, and individual artists, all of which must have at least 3 years of activity. This focus supports applicants who have been navigating challenges like COVID-19, economic changes, government and policy shifts, and philanthropic transitions over the past few years. We're in it too, y'all. Does my organization need to be entirely arts focused? The majority of your organization's programming and mission should be arts related. Yeah. When will applicants be notified? Applicants can expect to hear from CASH within approximately 1 month of submitting their application. So this is a rolling application. As applications come in, we'll be responding within a month. Do I have to spend my money by the end of 2026? Yes, all funds must be used by December 1st, 2026. What makes a strong application? Strong applications clearly explain the applicant's business or organizational goal. So, what is it that you're wanting to accomplish? Why outside expertise is needed, and how the proposed work will strengthen long-term sustainability. What if I'm not completely sure what kind of support I need? Applicants are strongly encouraged to identify a clear goal before applying so that as you're filling out that application, you already have this strong idea of what you need. If you're unsure of what kind of support you need, you can consider the list of examples that we've provided uh, in this information session, or you can email admin@CashCreate with any questions and you'll get a prompt response, um, maybe even some brainstorming, um, just to get to narrowing down what your real need is. How will applications be selected? Applications will be reviewed on a rolling basis and must meet the eligibility requirements to be considered. Eligible applicants will be awarded funding on a first come, first served basis until all funds are distributed. Will I need to report back to Cash on how the funds were used? Yes, Cash will request a narrative grant report by the end of 2026. The grant report should highlight goals achieved through the Take Action Fund and celebrate your work that you do as an artist or arts organization. Okay.
Got some great questions in the chat. So thanks everybody for being so thoughtful and participating. All right, so I'm going to start at the top here. We've got a question that is, does Jessica McClendon, you had asked, does teaching count, teaching creative practice? And if you're willing to unmute yourself, can you explain just a little bit more of what you mean by that? And if not, you can put it in the chat. And while you're, let's see. Tell you what, Jessica, I'm going to come back to you. So if you can put a little bit more explanation in the chat for me, I'm going to give you a little bit more time. All right, I've got a question of, do you have a list of recommended consultants? Heidi, go ahead and take that one.
Yeah, as people in Cash and in the community doing work, I feel like we do have a pretty dense network of people that, I mean, we'd be happy to connect you with. It will depend on what your need is, and I would suggest that if you're just looking to be connected with somebody, just shoot an email to the admin@CashCreate, and we'll work together to make sure that you're going to get to where you need.
And again, that is admin@cashcreate.org. Another question, what if, this is a juicy one, what if an applicant is both an artist and an individual applying on behalf of an organization? Can they apply for the
Uh,
grant as an individual artist and for the organization? And if it's okay, Heidi, I'm going to take that one.
Please,
I
yeah.
what's really important, friends, is that we don't have a situation where we have someone applying for a grant in the nonprofit category and the individual category that are both benefiting the same entity. Okay, so a nonprofit leader who is applying for, like, for example, for me, for cash, which would be silly because that would be self-serving, but just roll with my idea. And if I, as an individual, as Kelsey, was applying that would also benefit cash, that's a no-go. However, if I was applying as an individual to benefit my own personal artistic practice that is separate from the nonprofit that I represent, that is fine. So I hope that answers the question well. Okay, next question is, can I hire a grant writer? I have a new big project. And I would say that that counts, that is okay because that is something that you could use for long-term sustainability, that it would have to demonstrate that the grant writer is helping to set you up for being able to apply for more grants in the future. So like we've done a YOLO session, for example, where our speaker has helped to set you up. We've called it Write It Once, where you have a lot of answers that you will probably be using for future grants. So I just encourage you to really emphasize in your application that this isn't just a one-time project-based use of a grant writer, but that they would be helping to set you up for success in grant writing in the future. Heidi, do you have anything to add to that?
No, I think that's great, succinct.
Great. Okay. And another question is, dun, 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 dun. What if my time has not been consistent as an artist, but over the last 20 years? Heidi, go ahead and take that one.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I think that we understand that life happens and we go in and out of our practice. I think as long as your application can demonstrate cumulatively 3 years of activity, then you are perfectly eligible.
I've got a bit of explanation about funding. I think I still need more information. I'm sorry, Jessica, that you're wanting to know if you can help in building your business, teaching sewing skills and creating a community around making. I think, is it that you're asking, if you're asking, could you hire a consultant that can help you strategize about how to turn your artistic practice into a a means of revenue through teaching? Um, I think that's really a really interesting take on hiring a consultant to help you. I think you could make an argument for that. I think you can make an argument for a consultant that kind of helps you build a business plan on how to take your artistic practice and make revenue through teaching. So I'm going to say if it's that, then yes. Heidi, do you have anything to add to that?
No.
Oh man, the chat is so funny. Y'all are great. Okay, another question. Does hiring a web designer apply?
Yes,
Yes.
100%. I mean, as long as it's a web designer for your like artistic web page or your nonprofit web page, it's not like a random page, but yes.
Yeah, great. Let's see. Making sure I didn't miss any. You guys are lively in the chat. This is great. Um, I love the energy, the excitement about how you could use this funding. We we are so excited to see what comes of this for you all, because like Heidi said, there's just so many hats that y'all have to wear to be able to focus energy on your creative practice or on the mission of your arts and culture organization. So take it and run with it, y'all. Can't wait to see what you do. All right, let's see. I've got, okay, I don't know if this is a comment or a question. Let's see. Yeah, growing your website. Yes, definitely. Okay, this is so there I'm taking a chat comment and turning it into a question. Um, Hiring somebody to help you record something, hiring a videographer, if the I would say if it is for something that expands outside of a specific project. So, for example, hiring somebody to record an audiobook, to me, that is too project based. It lives within that one project. It has to live outside and beyond that one project. So, if it's something for marketing purposes, that makes sense.
Yeah. It looks like Tram is
Hmm.
asking to come on and
Unmute.
ask. Yeah.
Do it.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
my question is, we are our organization is currently a fiscally sponsored organization, but this year we are hiring someone to transition us into a 501c. And so, I mean, we are hiring someone to do that. And then Can some of the funds also go towards like the government filing of that process?
Oh, like the fees that go
Yes.
into the paperwork.
Yes, that's correct.
Um, Gosh, that has not come up in any of our conversations. I do think it just on my first reaction, it doesn't fulfill the trajectory of what the grant is intended to do, which is to pay a consultant to do a task for you. So maybe Kelsey feels differently about this, but my initial reaction is that no, that's not within the scope of the grant.
Gotcha.
I I would be happy to talk to you offline since it's such a specific ask. I know that for example, when Cash became its own nonprofit, we hired a consultant to actually help us navigate all those government processes. So we could talk about that. Um, yeah, that's it. That's we're artists here. We're all artists here. There's gray area. So let's talk more. Let's talk more about that, Tram.
Okay, thank you.
Hey, any other questions? All right. Last chance. All right, back to you, Heidi. You can wrap us up.
Fabulous. So we all know that sometimes it takes some time for information to digest, and then questions will come up later, or as you're going through the application, questions will come up. We remain here and present for you to ask those questions. Just reach out with an email to admin@cashcreate.org, and we'll be happy to be in conversation with you all. You can also visit the website, www.cashcreate.org, to learn more about Take Action and all of the other grants and opportunities available through Cash.
Thanks, everybody. We hope you apply. It's a really short and not a daunting application. So you can do this. We're cheering for
Yes.
you. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Have a good weekend. Bye, everyone.